Hello friends, welcome back. Hearty welcome to you. In this session, we'll try to find out the domain and range of function 1 by square root of 4 minus x square. Now first of all, let's try to recap and spend a couple of minutes on understanding what is domain and range. Domain is the set of values which can be supplied to the function, and the range are the set of the values which are obtained by, which are given as output by the function. So if I have a function f of x, I give the values. The value is let us say 0 to this particular function. If I give 0, the set of values of all these values are called as domain, whatever I can give input. If I substitute 0, I see 1 by root of 4, that's equal to 1 by 2. Now this value, whatever I am getting 1 by 2, is the part of the values of range. So domain is the values, set of values which you can supply, and range are the values which are given by the function for those respective values from the domain. Okay, now let's try to understand what's the domain of this particular function. We have been given that f of x equal to 1 by square root of 4 minus x square. Now what are the constraints with respect to these functions? There are two constraints. The first constraint is I cannot have inside square root negative value. If I have negative value inside square root, then it is not belong to real numbers. They are complex numbers. Second thing, we also know that 1 by denominator, some value if I have numerator by denominator, then denominator cannot be equal to 0. So we have two constraints now. One, the denominator cannot be equal to 0, and also the square root of negative number should not be there. That means this square root of 4 minus x square should be greater than 0. So let's put both the condition together. I can write down. I can say that first condition is root of 4 minus x square cannot be equal to 0, and also root of 4 minus x square should be greater than 0 because I cannot have negative value. So should be greater than or equal to 0. Now with these two conditions, I know that square root of 4 minus x square should be greater than 0. Both should be satisfied. One, I cannot be equal to 0, and also I can be greater than or equal to 0. So both the condition to be satisfied, the square root of 4 minus x square should be greater than 0. Now what we will do, we'll try to, can I say that's nothing but squaring on both sides? 4 minus x square should be greater than 0, or can I say 2 minus x into 2 plus x, because a square minus b square formula should be greater than 0. Now whenever we have something like 2 minus x into 2 plus x greater than 0, now how the domain will be? We have to understand the values from this particular condition. So we can take the real number system and we can divide that into, now we know that it starts from negatively large value to positively large value, that is minus infinity to infinity, and we have two important points here. One is minus 2, another is plus 2. And let us say we have 0 in the middle. We know that 0 will be somewhere here. Okay, now we have to understand that which section will satisfy, or which set of values will satisfy this particular condition. For that, the first thing always we do is we substitute x equal to 0. If I substitute x equal to 0, it will become 2 minus 0, 2 into 2 plus 0, that's equal to 2, greater than 0. That means 4 is greater than 0. That means the domain will be coming from this particular section. Always remember that if the middle section is true, then the remaining sections will be false. If one of the leftmost or rightmost sections are true, then middle sections will be false, and you will have, like let us say, if 2 is wrong, then 1 and 3 will be your domain. If 1 is wrong or 1 is false, not satisfying, then 1 and 3 both will be false and 2 will be the domain. So the domain will be nothing but equal to minus 2 comma 2, but boundaries are not included, because if I substitute minus 2, it will become square root of 0, which is 0. I cannot have domain, I cannot have negative value in the I cannot have denominator equal to 0, and also I cannot have negative value in the square root. So minus 2 to 2, closed bracket, minus 2 to 2, boundary is not included. It's not a rectangular bracket, it's a curved bracket. Now this is the domain we have. Now let's take this and try to find out the range. Before that, remember that 4 minus x square is greater than 0. That means 1 by, this is positive value. You know that 1 by positive value is always positive. That means the range is positive. That much we know. So let's go and try to find out the range. We want to find out the range. So what we can do, we know that domain is minus 2 to 2, and all the values between minus 2 to 2 are allowed, excluding the boundaries minus 2 and 2. Let's substitute. First of all, I'll write down y equal to 1 by square root of 4 minus x square. If I substitute x equal to 0, I will have y equal to 1 by square root of 4 minus 0, which is equal to 1 by 2. So the minimum value what the function can have is 1 by 2, and it can go up to infinity. So we know that the values will be starting from 1 by 2 and it will go up to infinity. Now what is the other way how we can solve this without just taking the values from the domain and substituting? Is there any other way how we can do this? The other way what we try to do is we take the inverse function of this function and try to find out what is its domain, because we know that if I am going from f to g, then the values here are domain and this is range. Then I can have inverse function for which the domain will be g. So to find out the range, I can go to the inverse function and I can find out the domain. How we do that? Let me show it to you. We take y equal to 1 by square root of 4 minus x square. Can I say y square equal to 1 by 4 minus x square? Or can I say 4 minus x square equal to 1 by y square, or x square equal to 4 minus 1 by y square, or 4y square minus 1 by y square? Now this is what the general function. Now inverse function will look like y square equal to 4x square minus 1 by x square, or can I say y equal to square root of 4x square minus 1 divided by x square. And from this we know that we cannot have x equal to 0 here, so range will not have 0, and also 4x square minus 1 should be greater than or equal to 0. The numerator should be greater than or equal to 0, from which you can know that 4x square is greater than 1, x square is greater than or equal to 1 by 4, x greater than or equal to 1 by 2. If I put x equal to 4x square is greater than 1, so we know that now x is greater than or equal to 1 by 2. That means the range is 1 by 2 to infinity. including the value 1 by 2 because greater than or equal to 1 by 2. Let me just give a recap of this method again. What we are saying is, if suppose we want to find out the range of this particular function, another way to find it out is find out its inverse function. How to find out its inverse function? Take y equal to whatever the function we have, get it in terms of x. Now switch x to y. After you got everything, now switch x to y, so that you will get the inverse function. For that inverse function, you find out the domain, because for this particular function, range is nothing but equal to inverse function domain. So 4x square minus 1. So now you have y equal to square root of 4x square minus 1 by x square. You know x cannot be 0 because the denominator cannot be 0. And also you know that square root of 4x square minus 1 cannot be negative. That means it should be greater than or equal to 0. From that you get x greater than or equal to 1 by 2. So the range is 1 by 2 comma infinity. So the domain of this function is minus 2 comma 2, and the range of the function is 1 by 2 to infinity. So we will do more examples on domain and range of the functions in the coming sessions. This is one example which I thought of sharing with you. Thanks for your time and support. Bye for now.